Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in on this momentous occasion. It is a momentous occasion because today is the National Sports Day also, and this, as we all know, is the birth anniversary of Major Dhyan Chand. Uh, Today we are gathered here for the grant of honorary membership to one of the icons of sports medicine of India. Uh, before coming to that, I would like to speak something about sports and exercise medicine per se. Sports and exercise medicine as a specialty in India started in 1980s. From the 80s till 2019, there was no formal society of sports and exercise medicine physician. There were other societies. There was the Indian Federation of Sports Medicine and there was the Indian Association of Sports Medicine. But as a pure faculty or as a pure specialty, there was no federation or no society of sports and exercise medicine. The need was felt, and several of our younger, more dynamic colleagues took the lead in this. And in 2019, we finally had an Indian Society of Sports and Exercise Medicine. Without much further ado, I would like now to introduce Dr. Kiran Kulkarni. He is the Joint Secretary of ISSEM and he is a former international medalist in gymnastics himself. I would like to request Dr. Kiran Kulkarni to deliver the presidential address.
Good morning, everyone. And first of all, I would like to congratulate on this auspicious occasion of National Sports Day. I, on behalf of the President, Dr. Anjuman Barul Sharma, I'm here on his behalf. So, this is a very special moment for the Indian Society of Sports and Exercise Medicine because as Dr. Anup Krishnan just now said that we are honoring our own, one of the very senior doctors, Dr. P.S.M. Chandran, who has been one of the pioneers or one of the early doctors who started the sports medicine practice in India. So we would be honoring. So this Indian Society of Sports and Exercise Medicine was formed in 2019 and exclusively the specialty of sports medicine includes medical doctors who have done MBBS and the post-graduation MD and diploma in sports medicine are into this organization. More so, we just as over a period of time, we have had our seniors who have spent their lifetime contributing to this wonderful field of sports medicine. So, without their guidance, without their blessings, it would be very difficult on our part to run this organization. So, it has been prime importance for us to honor these great sports medicine doctors. So, without me wasting much time, I would like to hand over the mic and thank you one and all.
Thank you, Dr. Kulkarni, for the presidential address. On me falls the onerous task of introducing one of the icons of sports and exercise medicine in our country, Dr. P.S.M. Chandran. Dr. P.S.M. Chandran has done his MBBS from Trivandrum Medical College, Kerala. He did his IOC diploma in sports medicine. He did his diploma in sports medicine from FIMS. He did a postgraduate certification in Physical Medicine and Rehab from All India Institute of Physical Medicine and Rehab, Bombay. He is a certified coach in hockey, and he's got a certificate in sports physiotherapy, and he's also a German language certified speaker. He has been in government service for a long time. He started as a major in the Army Medical Corps. He went on to become the director and senior scientific officer in Sports Authority of India from 1984 to 2009. He was the director in the organizing committee of the Asian and Commonwealth Games of several Asian and Commonwealth Games. He has been a consultant to the Sports Authority of India. He has been a member of the steering committee of several games and several organizing committees. He's been a medical consultant to the Sports Authority of India. He's been a chief medical officer for World Series Hockey. He's been a chief medical officer for Hockey India. He's been a member of the Doping Commission of several games. He's been a doping control officer for the BCCI. Currently, he is heading the Sports Sciences Center, which has been set up at Kalinga Stadium by the government of Odisha. He is also a UGC nominee in Delhi Sports University. He is a member of the Anti-Doping Appeal Panel of the National Anti-Doping Agency. He is a medical committee member of the All India Football Federation. He is the president of the Indian Federation of Sports Medicine, and he is a member of the several advisory boards of several other organizations. He himself is an accomplished sportsman. He is a state level player and a university level player in hockey, and he is also an NIS qualified hockey coach. In sports medicine, his resume runs into 5 pages. I will try and summarize as much as possible. He is one of the few doctors who is a double Olympian. He is a doctor of the Indian contingent in Los Angeles and Athens. He has been the team doctor in multiple Asian Games, and he's been the medical officer for several international and national events through the years. He has been the doctor of the Indian hockey team for several national and international competitions. He has been head of doping control for the Commonwealth Games, and he's been the doping control officer for several national and international events. He has attended and organized several national and international conferences in India and abroad. He's been invited as faculty and speaker for more than 25 international conferences and workshops in India and abroad. He is the principal editor of the Indian Association of Sports Medicine Book of Sports Medicine. He is also the author of the Sports Medicine Passport. He has published more than 100 articles in sports and sports medicine in scientific journals and in magazines and newspapers. He has been the speaker on several national and international talk shows, and his views are often sought by the government of India for any policy decisions which are to be made. I welcome you, sir, and it's our honor to hear you speak today, and I request you to start your presentation, sir.
Thanks, Colonel Anup. Thank you very much for the nice introduction, a kind introduction you have given. It's a very lengthy one. I don't know whether I deserve it, but it is my duty today to go through my own life. That is a task given to me by the IASM office bearers, which I hope I will fulfill the requirement. First of all, let me compliment ISSCM for starting the association in 2019, which was very much wanted because as it was mentioned by the chairman in his introduction now, there are associations working in the field of sports medicine in the country for a long time, but it has been a free for all association. The IASM was giving membership to everybody, and when it comes to Indian Federation of Sports Medicine, it was limited to all doctors, irrespective of specialty. But it's a good idea you have generated by giving membership to the association only to sports medicine doctors. That will help in the growth of the association very much and the specialty as a total. Now let me go through my life journey because the time given I had to adhere to that. Can a presentation start now?
Yes, sir. Please start, sir.
Finish? Okay. The topic is it is my journey in sports medicine, but I have to give a caption to my talk. So I made it, I studied medicine and learned from sports. And I will explain this in a short way. Medicine taught me many about all diseases and health problems related to the public as a whole. Whereas come to sports, I learned what health is all about, which is not a part of medical studies, especially fitness part, which I learned from sports is very unique for sports medicine. And things like sportsman spirit and teamwork and all, I learned from sports, not from my medical field. So I want to acknowledge my involvement in sports as well as in fitness. My life journey started in 1948, and I was born in a middle class family in Trivandrum, and nothing too much to boast about. But I am happy that my parents never stopped me from playing sports, even though they kept an eye on my academics. They gave me full freedom to do sports in my school days, and that gave me very rich dividends. I started my schooling in Trivandrum Government Model High School, which was at that time one of the leading school in the whole of Kerala. And I had represented the school in football, and at the same time, while coming out of the school, I had the National Med Scholarship also with me. So my college day started in Intermediate College Trivandrum, where I did my pre-university as well as pre-medical. And then in the college, I represented 4 teams: football, hockey, cricket, and athletics. That gave me a broader vision towards outlook towards the world as a whole. My medical studies started in Trivandrum Medical College. I am the 65-70 batch. And there also I had, even though I concentrated on medicine for my degree, I did a lot of sports there. I played hockey as a captain and football, cricket, athletics teams. I participated. In addition, I represented Kerala State and University in hockey at the time when I was a student. So it was not an easy job to balance between sports as well as academics, which I successfully managed. Then after my graduation, I joined Indian Army. I salute the Indian Army for the experience it gave to me. I was a short commission officer in 72 to 82. I had good posting in MH Shillong was a very unique posting in the sense that was where I got my first army uniform on. Then what I remember most is my involvement in the Bareilly POW camp, where we had 10,000 Pakistani prisoners of war. And one of the war veterans from Pakistan side was Brigadier Atif, who was captain of the Pakistan hockey team in 1960 Olympic Games in Rome. In fact, when I used to go and attend the duties every day, he used to come and talk to me. We used to discuss a lot about hockey. And that was a very unique experience. And my whole staff in the POW camp were Pakistani nursing assistants and physiotherapists and all. And I had a very memorable time with them. I always cherish the memories. But my main posting came with Rajaputana Rifle Regiment Center, Delhi Can, where I joined in 1977 and terminated my commission also in that center. And that center is known for its sports background, where they had the brilliant sportsmen, and one of them being the legendary Sri Ram Singh, who won the 800 meters in the Asian Games twice, and he finished 7th in the Montreal Olympic Games. this I would like to bring it to your notice. This regarding Sriram Singh case. Sriram Singh finished 7th in the Olympic Games in 76. And when he came back and for the camp in 1978 Asian Games, Bangkok, then he was declared unfit by the doctors who treated him because he had pneumonitis and asthma. And he was sent back home saying that he is unfit for sports. A decision given by the committee of doctors. It so happened that he was from Rajasthan Rifle Regimental Center where I was the RMO. So my association with Commander Gopi Kotur, who was commanding the Army Sports Medicine Center, the first center of armed forces in the whole country, that was functioning at Harba Stadium. We had detailed discussion. Then there were some cases published during those days on exercise-induced asthma. So we talked to Sriram Singh. Then we found probably he could be a case of exercise-induced asthma, and we treated him with that diagnosis in hand. We got the investigation done. All investigations were leading to exercise-induced asthma case. And then we monitored. There was no separate coach for me except the Rajani Central coach, Ilyas Babbar was there. And with his support, we monitored his coaching day to day. And we sent him to 1978 Asian Games, Bangkok, where we will always be happy to know that he came back with a gold medal in 800 meters. This was a unique achievement for an asthmatic patient. And this rehabilitation, Sriram Singh got a lot of attention in the world media. Even foreign newspapers carried the news of his Asian Games victory being an asthmatic patient. And then we also went all around the countryside, myself and Dr. Kotu, to present this case to a lot of audience, which included all the Council of Sports, where Field Marshal Manesha was chairing this meeting, where we had the opportunity to present in front. We got good compliment from Field Marshal at that time. So it was a memorable experience for me as a sports medicine doctor. My first contact in sports medicine happened in 1976. In 76 in Amravati, which is Maharashtra. Amravati, I got a big physical education college called HVP Mandal. So that time the IASM meeting was held in Amravati, HVP Mandal. There the congregation doctors, then we discussed about sports medicine. That was my first exposure to sports medicine. Even though I was involved in sports in the past, I didn't have much knowledge about sports medicine, but my peers in the field, Dr. Kotu, Dr. Alok Ghosh, Dr. Mukherjee, and Dr. P.K. Roy, some of the stalwarts, they took me under their wing, and that helped me to blossom in sports medicine. And Sriram Singh's rehabilitation came as handy to get publicity for sports medicine as a whole. Then I attended the 1917 IOC solidarity course that was held in NIS Patiala, where 20 countries represented, and one of my colleagues during the course was Dr. Ashok Ahuja, who was heading the sports medicine in NIS Patiala. Then during my tenure in the Army, I had association with a lot of services team as the team doctor, and I give full credit to Dr. Kutur, who used to take me to almost all the events which he used to go, and he used to give me, even though I was an youngster with less experience, he used to give me a free hand to deal with athletes. That developed confidence in me as a sports medicine doctor. It helped me a lot in my future career as a sports medicine specialist. And I always remember Dr. Kotu. He's a naval officer who is no more with us now. And I must rank him as a pioneer of sports medicine in our country. Then my biggest turn in my life came in 1982. At the age of 34, I was appointed as the director of the Medical Asian Games 82 in Delhi. And the Lieutenant General of the DGMS Army was the Lieutenant General. He was the chairman of the committee, and he died of leukemia immediately after the committee was formed. So I had the honor responsibility of doing everything connected with the medical cover, and that too all the stadiums in the plus sailing in Bombay and Ramgarh Lake in Jaipur. I had to manage the medical cover, plus doping control and age verification, everything. Not age, gender verification, everything related to the games. And I had a team of, I must state here that was the best opportunity IASM got during that time. And because of my association with IASM, I had the free hand to select the doctors. I put almost 40 doctors of IASM into the duties of duties of Asian Games 82, which was eye opener for most of the doctors. They came in direct contact with the medical cover for Asian Games. Following that, 84, I was appointed as Sports Authority of India as a doctor there. I still remember myself and my own helper, boy called Manish boy. We opened the stadium medical center which was unused there. We started establishing the sports science center, sports medicine center along with the HPL. And later we added the doping control laboratory also. It all started with 80 for my joining as Sport of India. And I'm proud to say that that center has grown a lot now, and it is a landmark for sports medicine centers in the country. At the same time, sports medicine environment gave me an opportunity to see the world. I could tour almost 30 countries in the practice of sports medicine doctors and interact with scientists and doctors working in the field of sportsmen, which is a rich experience for me, which I was fortunate to get, and everybody will not be fortunate to get this because my luck is that I was associated with sports medicine, Sport Authority of India. And I believe that Sports Authority of India and Army, these are the two establishments which are doing government service sports medicine still in the country, even though other establishments have come up. But these two organizations pioneer for development of sports medicine in our country, I must say that. This I already mentioned about the involvement of IASM doctor. I was the IASM honorary secretary at that time. That's why I could book the doctors without any problem in the Asian Games medical cover. And after that, this never happened, even though India conducted Commonwealth Games also in 2010. They did not give any importance to sports medicine doctors in medical duty. They got the doctors from Delhi hospitals and surrounding areas, which I feel was the loss for sports medicine because of the non-involvement of sports medicine doctors. But their main involvement came in Commonwealth Games in the doping control, which Army helped them a lot to support. Whenever I was giving medical cover and was discussing with coaches as a doctor, they used to ask me, "You're a doctor, so what do you know about coaching?" So that hurt my feelings. So I thought, why don't you go and do a course in sports coaching? So hockey being my favorite game, I enrolled for the 1-year course in Patiala and qualified as hockey coach. So I thought that I made a good beginning, but I must confess here that it is consequences are different. I found it very surprising. When I came back as a hockey coach from NS Patiala as a doctor in sports medicine, there were very few coaches who welcomed me. In fact, I came to know that they tried to avoid me with the condition that I, being a hockey coach, qualified hockey coach, I may pose a challenge to them. So they will be feeling insecure. So they gave me duties. And when I was put on as a doctor in charge of the team, I was given clear instructions that I will not get involved in coaching. I was surprised on that. Instead of getting any associated with the coaching, the coaches tried to keep me away from coaching. That is still it continued till my retirement. But I have no qualms about it. It happens because of the insecurity the coaches feel having a doctor in there as an assistant coach. As the chairman mentioned in introductory lecture, I have organized umpteen number of, I will say, I mentioned umpteen number because I lost count of the conferences, seminars, and workshops I arranged for in sports medicine while I was in Sports Authority of India. And I was lucky that I had associated with almost all the doctors, most of the doctors who are members of ISICM now, who are seniors and juniors. I had a long association with them, starting my days in Sports Authority of India. So I felt quite comfortable when I talk to people today in this forum. And I was called to arrange medical cover to most of the events which I held during my tenure. That was almost 20 years tenure in Sports Authority of India in Delhi. Almost all the events and medical cover was provided me as a doctor in charge. And I promoted sports IASM. At that time, I promoted IASM through my involvement in medical cover. And later, I launched the Indian Federation of Sports Medicine. I used the word I launched. Because what happened, IASM, I was a part and I am still a part and parcel of IASM for long years. Unluckily, what happened was there was a time when doctors used to dominate the meetings of IASM. But later, my friends in physiotherapy friends got membership and they came in large numbers and they were given membership in large numbers so that they outsmart the doctors and in the decision making they had a higher say. The doctors were sidelined, so there was a conscious opinion of the doctors who were members of IASM that there should be separate form for Indian Federation of Sports Medicine was formed according to that to help the interests of doctors. And we have got more than 500 doctors in IFSM, but I must confess you that the growth of IFSM retarded after I left SAI in 2010. Since then, we could associate IFSM only in one conference, that is SciCon, which was held in by Sports Authority of India in 2017. where 800 participants came from 19 countries. It was a large function. But I'm glad that IASM also doing a lot of service to sports medicine, continue to do a lot of sports medicine activities now. So along with IASM, IFSM, and now ISSCM, I think the future of sports medicine is safe in this country. And as I mentioned with the chairman, sir, I had the unique decision of being the contingent doctor is a very important post. Unlike a team doctor, the contingent doctor takes the whole responsibility of team management on the medical and health side. I had the fortune to be the contingent doctor with 2 Olympic Games, 2 Asian Games, and South Asian Federation Games. And my association with SAI helped me a lot in functioning effectively, and I had a good time with all these games where I could produce results. Then my association team doctor was mainly with hockey, men and women, and long tenure I had with the men and women hockey teams. Football also I was associated with the men and women team. Then boxing, wrestling, tennis. And the tennis, I'm associated mainly limited to Davis Cup matches, which are held in Delhi and nearby states. That association lasted for more than 20 to 30 years till I retired from SAI. After my retirement from SAI in 2008, I had association with again with SAI. I had 3 additional tenures with SAI. They called me back for different appointments 3 times, and I had as the chief medical officer hockey India, then chief medical officer World Series hockey. Then I was the team doctor of the federation doctor for All India Football Federation. Then board of control cricket India. I was associated with doping control. National Anti-Doping Agency since 2009 when it was established. Even today, I am associated. I had a long innings continuous with the National NADA. I continued serving the NADA. Even yesterday, we had a appeal panel hearing, and my association is never ending with NADA. At the international side, also, I had a lot of exposure. I was the FIH doctor for 6 tournaments. I was just the other day, I was counting almost 250 international matches. I associated with them myself as the FIH doctor, providing medical cover and doping control at the games. Then I was the adjudication committee of the Badminton World Federation, where I was in the appeal panel of the athletes when we had badminton world champions caught in the whirlpool of doping, and I could hear their case and do justice to my job there and rehabilitating those athletes who were caught on doping in the world level. Then International Shooting Federation, I was the president of the Asian Shooting Federation for a long time, where I was associated with the shooting on almost all the shooting events which held in Delhi for 20 years. The Asian Football Competition, I was the AFC doctor for 5 years. World Wrestling Federation also, and Indian Federation also, I was associated as a team doctor of Indian teams. Then ATP too, I did a course in ATP to do doctors conference in London and qualified as a doctor for ATP, and where I assisted ATP tournament once. Because of my other commitments and touring was not possible for me, I had to withdraw from that. Then Davis Cup, my association was for a long time. All the matches in Delhi I covered. The International Cricket Council, I had doping control involvement with the Cricket Council. Coming to my publication works, I had edited the IASM book of sports medicine, which was an effort by a couple of doctors in IFSM. Sorry, IASM. That is before IFSM was formed. Then I designed the sports medicine passport, which is the health and fitness mobile diary, and this was accepted by the Sports Authority of India, and I could sell or distribute over 4,000 copies of this fitness diary to all the athletes. And then it becomes a good revenue generation also for me. And the book is now I am using the book for my present assignment here in Odisha as a head of the sports science department center here. We are going to implement this book for all the athletes here in Odisha. Then excess-induced asthma was the highlight of my career, which was published by British Journal of Sports Medicine, Sriram Singh's case. Then I had a lot of work done in stress fractures when I was in Regimental Center. Then I have published a story written on doping story written by name. The title of the book is article is Ocean. It was carried by the Prestige Women Era magazine in Delhi. Then as the chairman mentioned, even now I keep writing on sports medicine, which is my passion for me. Even though I retired from Sports Authority of India, my passion with sports is still going on. Recently, I continued to be the president of Indian Federation of Sports Medicine, and I am heading the Kalinga Sports Science Center, which is just started this month only from Kalinga State. It is a very ambitious project by the Orissa government, and they, in collaboration with the Hello India program, is establishing the center, which they are good, very high ambitions about this center. I hope it will materialize with the help of sports medicine doctors. And then last week I got a nomination from EGC as you must be aware, Delhi starting Delhi Sports University. And last week I got a nomination from EGC as the nominee for the university. So their first meeting is being held on this Friday in Delhi, which I will be attending. Then I am a member of the anti-doping NADA anti-doping appeal panel. We keep hearing cases. The cases are mounting a lot nowadays, which we try to clear. Then All India Football Federation Medical Committee, I am a member. We heard the case of that peculiar case of Ali, the footballer. You must be aware of this case, where is the cardiomyopathy case. He was debarred from playing football by the All India Football Federation Medical Committee, in which I am also a member. Now he has gone to the court, and court verdict has come. We are reviewing his case, and we are waiting to find out from the court what the final verdict of the court will be, whether he will be allowed to play or not. Then I have been made a medical advisory board member with the OP Jindal University in Sonipat. Now coming to the one other aspect of sports medicine, very often the question is asked, who could be a good sports medicine doctor? I believe in certain points which I mentioned here. You should have passion for sports. I believe that you need not be a national, international level sportsman to be a sports medicine doctor, but you should definitely have passion for sports. And I appreciate Kiran Kulkarni, who is international in gymnastics, is a very rare achievement. And he has not got he has got more recognition for his contribution to gymnastics as well as sports medicine. But I find that history has not been kind to him. He should get into more limelight, because he's a very rare international in gymnastics plus a sports medicine doctor. His time it is due for him. Then one should develop compassion and respect for athletes. If you don't have respect for athletes, don't come into sports medicine field at all. Then you should be willing to work as a team man with coaches and support staff. Don't put any head weight there. You don't think that you are superior to coaches and the other support staff. You should be a part of the team. Your contribution should be equal. And in fact, you should be ready to work with the coach in a different angle, because sometimes the coaches dictate on training. You may have to solo it with the difficulty, but you have to remain a team man throughout if you want to succeed in sports medicine in sports. Other thing is that I found doctors waiting in the laboratory for the athletes to come and consult them. At the same time, I feel doctors should spend more time in the play fields and meet the athletes on the play fields and find out the problem during training and deal with them at the play field, rather than just waiting inside the clinic for them to come. Then success stories. I find doctors are very shy of publicizing their success stories. Very few doctors do that. But I believe in the other way, that your success story should reach the public, and it is a moral booster for athletes to come to you, as well as take shelter in sports medicine for their career development. Then which is a touchy thing I have put on, that listen to your heart before declaring medically unfit athletes, and also in doping offense. See, it is very easy. Doctors, you must know, it's very easy to declare an athlete unfit. But that is you have to think twice before making them unfit. If you feel that he's unfit for a particular sport, you must try to accommodate him in a different sports. That's very important, rather than declaring him unfit for sports. He can be unfit for football, but he can be good for, same athlete can be good for archery, good for shooting. So try to change it. Other conventional areas where we find, for example, flat feet, knock knee and all, we make them unfit for physical activities. And I don't think that is a correct attitude. If it is asymptomatic, they should be given a chance to continue with sports. And if they suffer from after effect, we can deal with them at that moment, rather than totally declare them unfit for sports. Then if you are hoping to make a lot of money in sports medicine field, for the time being is not your choice, because there's not much money in sports medicine in the country now, because unless sports become professional, and clubs started employing sports medicine doctors in large numbers, money will be difficult to find, but that should not be a detrimental for you to come into sports medicine. Come to sports medicine, make a name, then gradually you will improve your monetary status and wait for that day. Then filling a DARS CV is always good also, but at the same time, your CV should be your athletes. Your athletes should speak for you on their achievement. Your achievement should be reflected by your own patients who are rehabilitated positively. The greatest pride for a sports medicine doctor would be when he gets India colors and he represents India in the international competitions. The feeling it cannot be explained that if you feel it when you do that. So our ambition should be you should represent you should wear India colors and represent India in sports medicine in some international events and work towards that. This particular slide I want to show with a specific purpose. Major Leshram Singh, Jodin Singh, everybody knows him, and he was an BSM student in Patiala 1999 and 2000, and he lost his life in 26th of February 2001 Kabul when Taliban people ambushed him, and he was killed in the ambush, and he got Ashok Chakra. And after he got Ashok Chakra, there was nothing. People remembered a lot when his mother went and received award from the President of India during the Republic Day. But to commemorate, nothing much was done. Army has done in the ASA, they have done in the Manipur government, they have done. But as far as NS Patiala, where he was a ex-student, any alma mater should be proud to have an Ashok Chakra winner in the as an ex-student. So I feel proud to say that I am not boasting. I initiated the case with the Ministry of Sports at that time with Injustice Srinivas was Joint Secretary. I met him and explained to him the need for having some memorial for him in the NS Patiala. He fully agreed with that. He initiated the case. But after the initiating of the case, he was transferred from his post. He went away and I followed it up, but nothing has happened. But luckily for me, he came back. I saw it a few years back. Then I reminded him his commitment he has given to me that he will have a bus installed in Patiala. Later, he gave the clear-cut direction to NS Patiala, and what you see in the slide is an outcome of that. Finally, the bus has come in NS Patiala in memory of Major Leshram, which I feel is one of my biggest achievement as a sports medicine doctor, because the world should know more about Major Leshram, who sacrificed as a sports medicine doctor. He sacrificed his life for the country beyond sports. With short my life journey, let me conclude my talk and thank you ISSCM for the opportunity given to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. That was a very rewarding, revealing, and a very awe-inspiring talk from your end, sir. We are very grateful and that we had the privilege to listen to you today, sir. And we are very proud of what you have done for recognition of Major Leshram Jyotin Singh at NIS Patiala, sir. Just to add on to that story, Major Leshram Jyotin Singh was posted in Kabul, Afghanistan, and he and 3 medical officers were living in a guest house, and the guest house was attacked by suicide bombers. So he grabbed one of the suicide bombers, and the suicide bomber exploded the vest with Major Leshram Jyotin Singh fixed onto his body, and his body took the whole blast of the IED himself, and he thus saved the other 3 doctors who were present there. So we are very proud that he is from the Army Medical Corps, and he is also from the Sports Medicine Fraternity, and he is the winner of the Ashok Chakra, which is the highest gallantry award in peacetime, sir. So thank you very much, sir. I would now hand over the mantle to Dr. Siddharth Unnithan, who is the General Secretary of the ISSCM, for conferring the award to Dr. PSM Chandran.
Thank you, Dr. Anup. First of all, very good afternoon to everyone. I would like to wish everyone a happy National Sports Day, since in this this big occasion, I have the big honor to present this honorary membership to Dr. PSM Chandran. So I'll just share the certificate which I have. This is for Dr. PSM Chandran from our society, and it is in recognition for his devoted and invaluable services to this country in the field of sports and exercise medicine. I don't think anybody will disagree with me that without him, sports medicine chapter would be a big hole in India. And I would like to, you know, um, thank him for accepting this honorary member and helping us guide our society so that we can grow into one of the top sports medicine societies in the world, and not only in India. So thank you, sir. Thank you for.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks a
for.
lot. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Now, a small brief on today. Basically, Dr. PSM Chandran's career cannot be spoken in such a short time, but sir had so eloquently spoke about his time. And if anyone followed the course of the talk, I don't think no one would disagree with me that that his career is basically the sports medicine course throughout India. So there is no question that Dr. Chandran has brought up sports medicine quite a bit in India. And a small tidbit which I wanted to share is that when I was completing my MBBS, I wanted to do sports medicine. And as usual, like the regular doctor who was interested in sports medicine, I had no idea about sports medicine. So I had contacted first Dr. PSM Chandran. I don't think Chandran sir remembers, but I had called him. This was almost around 15 to 20 years back. I had called him, and sir had very nicely spoken to me. He told me about, sir, I think you remember about Dr. Rex, sir. He was your classmate in Trivandrum Medical College,
Please.
Dr. Rex. So,
Rex.
yes, sir. So Dr. Rex was my pediatric surgeon. So he was our HOD of pediatric surgery department at that time. So he told me about you, and I got his number from you, and I had spoken to you, and you had given me a very detailed idea about sports medicine, how it is in India, how it is in foreign, and everything. And I think your words actually also guided me to take up sports medicine quite a lot, because I was also still unsure about sports medicine, because this was 20 years back where it was just starting. Sports medicine was just starting. So it's quite nice that so that is where our connection starts actually. And um, it's a big honor for me that to to give you this honorary membership to you, sir. Um, I would like to thank also Colonel Dr. Anup Krishnan as the moderator. There was no obvious choice when he came forward. I think none of us disagreed, because he's always the forefront in our association. Any talk, any small event, Krishnan, Dr. Anup, Colonel Dr. Anup is always in the forefront. He will say that I'm there, I'm ready always. So I don't have to, say anything against him. He's always there in forefront for us. And I would like to thank him for moderating this session, and for making this session really a great one. Dr. Kiran sir, I don't think there is any introduction needed for our association from me. He is our heart and soul, and he was there from the beginning of our association. For starting the association, he was always at the forefront. And when our president was not available, I think all of us recommended Dr. Kiran sir, because he's one of our senior most. And as Dr. Chandran said, he is one of the most underappreciated sports medicine doctors in India. And I feel that his name should grow much bigger, and hopefully it will grow soon and help our association also grow even further. I would like to also thank two other people, Dr. Deepak and Dr. Ashe, with whom this presentation, this YouTube live won't have occurred, because You cannot put anything, means it's very easy for us to, come and sit in front of camera and present everything. But the hard underground work and the tough work has to be done by somebody. And Dr. Deepak is always there in the forefront, ready to do everything, as well as Dr. Ashay. Both of them are you can't say, means if any, they are the main cogs of the wheel. So if you remove them, the whole wheel will fall off. So they are the most important people in our organization, and I would like to thank them wholeheartedly for organizing this function. And I would like to thank everyone, all the members and all people who are watching through YouTube, since this is a live session, for thanking you to come during a Sunday. I know it's difficult on a holiday, but coming and watching this session and learning about sports medicine, learning about our society. And for those who are just getting to know about our society, Indian Society of Sports and Exercise Medicine, is a new organization. It's been only around 2 years since we have started it. And but we are growing. We are a pure association of only sports medicine doctors who are MCI recognized, with honorary members such as Dr. Chandran, Dr. Ahuja, Dr. Sarla, who have come and joined us. And hopefully we will have much more senior members who come as honorary members and help us grow even further and become a very large organization, which will bring laurels to sports in India. So with that, I would like to thank everybody who have watched this video, and I especially thank Dr. Chandran for taking this valuable time. I know he's a very busy person, and he took his valuable time to spend this time with us and give such a beautiful talk on his career, and spend this time with us and accept our honorary membership and be a part of our association. Thank you, sir. Thank you once again for all of us. Back to Dr. Anu.
Thank you, Dr. Siddharth, for that wonderful vote of thanks and for giving the honorary membership certificate to Dr. Chandran. I will now request Dr. Chandran, sir, any final thoughts and comments, sir?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
As I said earlier, I compliment the youngsters who made the association now, and try to rope in more members into the association. And whatever you do good in sports medicine work, you should be published. The world should come to know about it. That's why today it is publish or perish. Either you are known to people or finished. So you must, whatever achievements, I repeatedly say that you must publish and let the world know about it. And my other request to you is that whenever I go for a conference, I find a lot of people doing Google research and are taking articles out of the Google and presenting. Whereas it should be, if you want to present in a conference, it should be original work or it should be some case study. The other day I was listening to a talk on age verification by one of the sports medicine doctors. So it is my pet subject. So I wanted to find out certain things from that presenter. After that I went to that presenter, asked how many cases you have done. Then the reply I got was shocking. He said, no cases I have done, but I have taken it from the literature. So that should not be the attitude of a sports medicine doctor. Your work should be, you should be known through your work. And research is an important field, but research should coexist with your clinical work and presentation. So that is what I wanted to emphasize on. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Dr. Kulkarni, Dr. Gagan, any final comments? Okay. I thank you. I thank you all, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, for this opportunity given to me, and second of all, for this organizing this wonderful event. And I thank Dr. PSM Chandran for being a part of our society now. And we wish and we hope that you continue to guide us and teach us and push us to further heights, to achieving further heights in the future. If there are no more comments from anybody, I thank you all for listening and have a wonderful weekend and have a wonderful year. Thank you.